To my mind, we need to know that when we think about the kind of criticism that he produced, we need to think about the basic indignities African Americans are subjected to, as well as these extraordinary circumstances that arguably, as you can imagine, that would very much shape the kind of confrontation and conflict one might bring on oneself in terms of challenging the status quo. So in 1999, when I had some leave time, I was teaching at Howard University. I taught at Howard from 1997 to 2002 in the English department. And one of the things that I wanted to do at Howard, people that I care about, but sometimes disagree with, like Brother Cornel West and Brother Michael Eric Dyson, they were known for saying at that time that the work that they were doing could not be done at HBCUs, that there weren't enough resources to support the kind of work that they were doing. And I wanted to, I thought it was important to go against that, more or less, or to show that we could produce serious research at the HBCUs, and of course, obviously, we can and we do. So let me tell you a little bit about the book. This is called The Indignant Generation. The language itself really comes from a letter that Ralph Ellison wrote to Richard Wright in 1940. And at the time, Ellison was praising Native Son, and he said that the character Bigger Thomas, the achievement with the character Bigger Thomas, was that the indignant consciousness had been allowed to flourish, and that we could see. Ellison thought that you could see that this was sort of the vanguard in terms of the evolution of black consciousness, and that once this indignant consciousness became theoretical, and once people who were not as far down as Bigger Thomas sort of picked up on it, then, he said, we really will have social movement, we really will have transformation of American society. So it sort of came out of that. I wanted to show a generation of writers who interacted with one another. We think, and we have sort of a very coherent understanding of the Harlem Renaissance. Right, great title. And then on the other side of the 20th century, we have the Black Arts Movement. And I wanted to talk about what was in the middle. And people said, well, really, it's nothing in the middle. Or, these are writers who are moving towards integration. Or you have these remarkable individuals, James Baldwin, Zora Neale Hurston, Richard Wright, Gwendolyn Brooks, Ralph Ellison, Chester Himes. You have these remarkable individuals, and we have some biographical work on these single individuals, but, there's really nothing that pulls them together as a group. And, when I looked at the material, I thought that there were some remarkable relationships among about 40 or 50 black writers, and that what we needed to think about was the way that they set their own standards of excellence and the way they created their own measures for what would be important and valuable work. So I really tried to emphasize that, to talk about the way that they assisted one another in publishing, to talk about the way that African American critics, actually in black newspapers and at African American colleges and in African American journals, have a great deal to say about the quality of the literature that's produced in the 1940s, in the 1930s. And that when you look at debates that we think we know a lot about, for example, the famous debate between Zora Neale Hurston and Richard Wright over the meaning of Their Eyes Are Watching God, the significance of Their Eyes Are Watching God. And Wright is always seen as the antagonist who says that, sort of Hurston doesn't know what she's doing and is only creating minstrel characters with the novel. But when you look at what the other black writers are saying, it develops a universe that we have ignored. And so that's really what I've tried to do. I tried to show you that and to give you a 25-year period, sort of the 1930s, 1940s, and 1950s.